Breeders' Cup Saturday kicks off with the Filly and Mare Sprint, and it's a good one. Best way to play it, all the Breeders' Cup races, all of the races, is to play at NYRA Bets. Head on over to NYRABets.com. Use the promo code CUP25 for a free $25 play as well as a $200 deposit match. Well, we've got the winner and the runner-up from last year's Breeders' Cup, and we'll take a look at CC beating Edgeway, and both those horses have had solid years, and they're absolutely terrific runners, and CC has had a great career. She can win going long. She's better going short. My problem with her in this race, and I did pick her fourth, is this last year's Breeders' Cup was not a strong race. Now, some of you can say, what do you mean? She beat Gamine. The Gamine of 2021 was not the Gamine of 2020. She was ripe to get beaten, and she got it. She got beaten, not surprisingly, here. But Cece's got some real challengers to face. And while she won the same prep impressively as she did last year, leading into this, I just think this is a much, much tougher race. And one of the reasons for it are the two horses we're going to show you out of the Ballerina at Saratoga. Coming back on short rest, Goodnight Olive making just her sixth start and 5 wins now. It was coming off a 3-week left. You don't rest. You don't see Chad Brown do it too much. She stalked. She pounced. She was dominant. And in my opinion, she is the horse to beat in this race. But this was a day at Saratoga where all the dirt races were dominated towards the front end. And I do think the 3 Obligatory, while the pace was honest, the pace held together. And I think Obligatory was compromised. There should be a relatively honest pace in this race. There are too many horses that can hit. And I think that Obligatory is going to get the preferred hitting up front. So I think she can turn the tables on Goodnight Olive, who I do believe is the horse to beat. What do you do with Echo Zulu? And that's a real question. And what kind of price is she? I think she takes a lot of money in here. She's got a huge following, and justifiably so. Well, she's one of 2 Breeders' Cup winners in this race, and we'll take a look at her winning last year's Juvenile Fillies at Del Mar. Obviously, this year didn't go as well as they had planned. Really, I would argue one of the best races she ever lost was the only race she lost was probably one of the best races she ever ran when she finished 4th in the Kentucky Oaks, despite chasing a fast pace. And she battled hard and showed the kind of heart she has. Unfortunately, some issues kept her out of big races this summer, but she came back in the dogwood with a vengeance. And while Tarabio finished second, did not have a good trip that day, Tarabia's a very good horse, and she easily beat her, as she beat her in the race we just looked at here. She drew a good post on the far outside, but there's a lot of speed to contend with here, going 7 furlongs. And I prefer other horses and feel like she has to get faster to win here. And there are too many horses that are a little bit more interesting than her. Let's see if Slammed can be one of them. Slammed has that prep over the track that so many people seem to covet. And what a prep it was for trainer Todd Fincher, who's an interesting player in this year's Breeders' Cup. And Slammed has really gotten better, but she also lost to Edgeway 2 races back. And I don't think Edgeway is a major player, maybe a long shot to put in there somewhere. And I just don't know if Slammed is good enough. I feel like she will be part of the pace, but I just think they're going to be moving up front in this race. And with the number 10 Hot Peppers likely leading the way early, Slammed is going to face some real pressure, going 7 furlongs against much better horses. Frank's Rocket. If you could give a horse sort of an award for the most determined horse that runs in tough races, doesn't always win, but always runs well, Frank's Rocket, who is at the end of her 5-year-old year, has been terrific throughout her career with 18 first and second place finishes, 9 each, and 23 career starts. And she's really come together now. Kamari might have been one of the favorites had she run in here, and there's Kamari running her down the late stage of the Honorable Miss. She'll be the second choice in the Breeders' Cup Sprint against the males. And Frank's Rocket, it was Charlestown, but she was impressive last time out with an easy win. She has the right kind of running style. She can find her position. She doesn't need the lead, and I think she's going to get a piece in here. She's not on the top for me, but she is in my selections. As I said, the 7 Obligatory over the 8 Goodnight Olive are my top 2 choices in the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. I've got them over Frank's Rocket and CC. This is a fun war. We'll see if the 3-year-old Echo Zulu can win her second Breeders' Cup race. We'll see if CC can repeat. I'm betting against it. Whatever you're betting, hopefully you'll be betting at NYRA Bets. Head on over to NYRABets.com. Use the promo code CUP25 for a free $25 play and a $200 deposit match.